Hello and welcome back to my channel and to a new video today. I hope you're all having a good day today, and today we are going to be doing a video on my current favorite mods and CC for CAS for the new year. But anyway, since this is like one of my first times posting in the new year, I thought that a fun video idea could be showing off my current most used mods and CC for Create a Sim and The Sims 4 as of this year, so 2023. So as you can probably tell just by looking at my game itself right now that we're, in, I play with a lot of CC as well as a lot of mods. I'm very particular and I like things a certain way. And if I can mod a game, I absolutely will. In The Sims, I have a lot of mods, and I like to do videos showing off some of the ones that I like to use, and since I tend to spend a lot of my time in CAS anyway, I just wanted to go over some of the top mods in CC that I feel are really important for my experience in CAS and to make it pleasant for me, or just things that I feel like I probably couldn't play. I mean, I could play without, but I really like having in my game, basically. And I think there's about 7 things on here, so I didn't want to make it too long of a list. If you're interested in seeing videos about, the actual CC that I use, all of my skin details, all of my presets, all of my I was gonna say eye colors, it's kind of a random one to choose, but yeah, basically, I have done a little bit of that in the past, but I definitely would like to do more. It just takes a while to come up with the lists. Yeah, so we're just gonna go over the mods. But yeah, so I guess we'll just get into it because I don't want this video to be super long. But anyway, the first mod that we're looking at is the Stand and Still CAS mod, which you already can probably notice that my sim acts a bit differently, because normally in The Sims, if you don't have a mod to stop it, your sims move around a ton and are all over the place. If you have this mod, they don't move around, basically. So this is a personal preference of mine, because I really don't like it when I'm trying to when I'm trying to click on my sim and try to change something really quick, and then they do poses and all this stuff all the time. It's just a bit much for me, and I'm just can you stop moving? So this stops that from happening, which I appreciate. And also, so this mod will basically act as an override for the previous animations. So they will mostly not move in CAS. There's also a file which will only disable the occult animation. So this is when vampires growl, or mermaids will giggle, or whatever whatever mermaids do. And then spellcasters when they have their wand, and etc. So if only the occult animations bother you, because I know a lot of people get really annoyed by vampires hissing because they're just so intense about it. They hiss all the time and it's very annoying. So you can override just that if you don't mind the other stuff. So yeah, so as you can see, my sim is she's just standing there. She's not doing a ton of stuff. The only thing it won't stop is if when you pick your traits or your aspiration, they still move. And I have CC overrides for the CAS traits, so they pose when I pick certain traits. So ignore that. That's not supposed to happen, just with this mod alone. But yeah, so they will still pose when you do that. But otherwise, they should stand perfectly still most of the time. But yeah, so if you pick traits, they'll move, or aspirations. And also when you're picking walk styles, I never pick walk styles personally, but they should move. As well as if you change their age, they'll also move. But otherwise, they should stay perfectly still. And the next mod that we're going to look at is I would definitely recommend it if you play with a lot of custom content, as I very evidently do. So this is the More Columns in CAS mod. And so if you have a lot of custom content, hairs, makeup, clothes, stuff like that, this basically just means that whenever you click on any category, it will have, you can add more columns. So you can do either 3 columns, 4 columns, or 5 columns. I usually switch between having 4 or 5 just because of the amount of CC that I have. I like to do 5 columns, but you can also pick just 3, just 4. I think this is really helpful just in decluttering the game, or when you have this much CC, it if I only had 2 rows, it just becomes an eyesore, I think. Honestly, sometimes I forget like when I update my game and I like if I ever play the game without mods, I forget that you only get 2 columns normally, because it just like it looks so bad in my opinion. I just feel like it looks kind of sad and just like not the best. And of course, with the amount of custom content I have, if I only had 2 columns to sort through it, like it's already a lot. It already takes forever for me to go through categories, but if I only had if I just had 2 columns, I would be here all day basically. So this is the one, this I will say with this mod though, you do have to keep it updated pretty frequently, especially if there's ever a patch or anything like that, because it is like it affects the UI of the game. So you will have to update it pretty frequently, but that's not a big hassle. Because it's pretty easy to download on Patreon. It's free. It's not too bad. And the creator updates it very frequently, so you shouldn't have to wait. Honestly, sometimes it might even be updated the same day. So it's really not that much of a hassle. But yeah, if you have this in your game and then there's a patch and then your game looks weird, like your UI looks broken, it's probably because you have a UI mod that's messed up and needs to be updated. That's a great mod that I would recommend, honestly, for everyone, you know, especially if you use CC, but just in general, I think it's nice. Okay, and the next mod that I have, I personally could not use. If I didn't have this mod, I would not be able to make The Sims in the way that I do. So if you can probably tell, but the sim that I made here, she uses a lot of skin details. And one thing about a lot of skin details, and this isn't just for skin details, this mod, but it does help a lot with when I'm putting on skin details on my sim. One thing with skin details is they're all often under different categories. Like for example, all of these skin details right here are under forehead crease. So basically this mod is called Tidy Details. And so this is a mod, a lot of these mods have to do with organization and making CAS easier to navigate, but I feel like that's important for me personally. And I think that's pretty helpful when you're playing this game, is making it more, I don't know, just making the game, like making Create a Sim less of a hassle to navigate, you know, because without these mods, there's so many things about CAS that would just kind of bother me. This mod is, like I said, I think I mentioned it, but it's very helpful if you have, for like, particularly for skin details and tattoos, and when you don't know how to layer them, because tattoos work in a similar way. But if you don't have these categories, if you don't have these like tags to tell you when the category stops, you'll have no idea. You'll just have to guess basically where the tags, or where the tags end. And then it's really annoying if you're trying to layer CC on your Sims and make them look a certain way, and then you add something and then it takes it off. So this just tells you when it will end, so you know, you basically know what is under each layer. But yeah, so that is the Tidy Details. Now, the next mod that I want to show off is already being shown, because that is my CAS background. So if you don't know, you can replace the CAS backgrounds in your Sims game. And I just, like, very quickly, I get bored of, like, the same thing. So I like to change up my CAS backgrounds a lot. And you can find a lot of different CAS backgrounds online. The ones that I've been using lately are by this creator on Tumblr, and they make a lot of like different like solid color backgrounds. So because I've lately been preferring a more simplistic, like kind of, yeah, just a more simplistic look to my backgrounds. So I've been going for more like solid colors. So this creator does a lot of different color palettes that you can choose from. So the one that I'm doing right now that I've been using is called Bonbon. That's like the shade, and that's from the Peach edition. So also one thing to mention, if you do download a CAS background, just any CAS background at all, you will also want to make sure that you download an additional mod that should remove the blob under your sim. So at your sim's feet, there will be a blob if you get a CAS background, and you need to have a mod that will remove that for you. So it'll make it all be one color, or one, or you won't have that weird blob under their feet. So that will also be in the description next to the CAS background link, the link to the CAS backgrounds that I use. Okay, and the next mod that I use Now we're getting into a little bit more like custom content vibes, although I think this technically is still a mod, but it might be hard to see, but I actually, let me just take off my Sims makeup. Oh, I don't want to take off my Sims makeup actually, but okay, I kind of do have to just to show this. But yeah, so if you can't tell, my Sim does not have the usual like thick eyeliner or whatever, or the thick line that is around Sim's eyes. Usually if you pick a different, if you pick a type of eye for your Sim. So that's because I use this mod called No Eyelashes, and it basically just completely removes the in-game eyelashes. This mod just completely gets rid of it, and it's just not in your game anymore. So all of the eyes in your game won't have that line, basically. So and also, since I tend to use custom content eyelash, well, I always use custom content eyelashes. There's really no point to using the in-game eyelashes because mine are better. So now the next mod works pretty well with the last one we just went over, the no EA lashes. So these are actual lashes. I would say if you're starting out looking for lashes for your Sims, these ones, or not these ones in particular, but this creator, they make really good eyelashes, and they're one of the most popular creator for eyelashes. And they also just have a lot of different like variations that you can find. So I think I have like all of them downloaded, all of their different versions, because like I said, I like having options. But yeah, so this just adds custom lashes into your game, and they look really nice, and you can pick, you know, different colors, different lengths. And I just think they look really nice. Like, look how pretty that looks. That looks gorgeous. So I think this is a good creator to look at, and also just in general, why this creator is pretty good. I would say if you want to add lashes to your game to start with, they're good because their lashes work for all genders and ages, which isn't always the case with all lashes. Like a lot of times I'll find lashes, but they only are for, like they're only for like, teenage females or older, and they don't work for like, a lot of lashes maybe don't work for kids or don't work for men. And it's like these, so basically if you get these lashes from if you get the lashes that this creator makes, you'll for sure have lashes for all ages. Next, I wanted to go over some presets and sliders that I use for my Sims. So like preset ears, preset nose, preset eyes, stuff like that. And I definitely do have a lot in my game. Like I have, you know, like if we go up here, I have a lot of different presets that I like to use just to give my Sims a more unique look. And I do think that would be a fun video idea, but I think if I do that, I'll probably do that as like a separate thing just because I have so many of them. But I did want to include one, and that is the height slider mod. So hopefully it's working. Okay, yeah, because I just updated it. So as you can see, I can make my Sims taller or shorter. So, and you basically with this mod, you just oh wow, she's so short now. So basically with this mod, you just grab them by, I was supposed to say grab them by their neck. Basically that's what you do though. So you just like drag their neck, and then you can make them taller or shorter. So yeah, and then also this mod comes with some presets as far as body types go, and that's not presets, my bad. We're bodies, okay. So down here you can pick, you know, taller, shorter. So yeah, so these are the different presets. But yeah, so this mod, if you want to be able to make your Sims taller or really short, this is a good one to look at. All right, so the last mod that I want to go over is a skin tone pack. So this is called Bear. I believe this is by Velvet Scout on Tumblr, who, FYI, also makes some really beautiful like skin overlays and skin details. So if you're looking for like, I'm pretty sure they're Maxis Match. But if you're looking for some really pretty Maxis Match skin overlays, that's not what this video is about, but still, I'd also recommend them. I'm sure I have some, I think this like butterish one right here might be by them. I'm not 100% sure, but and maybe this one as well. Don't quote me on it, but definitely check out their page for other stuff as well. But in particular, I'm going over the skin tones. Now, I'm looking at it, but I'm not sure that I know which ones are their skin tones. So I'm kind of, because I don't know if I might have other custom skin tones in here. So I might have to just put up an image of the skin tones that they have. But yeah, so they have it adds basically a lot more options to the type of skin tones you can have in your game. So it contains 4 different undertones. So neutral, cool, warm, and olive, and each undertone has 25 swatches. With a total of 100 swatches, so that adds a lot of variety for your Sims game. And it's also enabled for all occults, so aliens, vampires, mermaids, spellcasters, etc. So and there was an update recently, well, not a few, I think it was like 2 years ago now, maybe, that added new skin tones to the game, or at least added like the sliders, stuff like that. But I still personally like to have a few CC skin tone options. I don't have as many as I used to. This basically is just nice if you want to have extra skin tones in your game, and I just like having a lot of options in CAS. And I was looking at the notes for the mod, or for the skin tone pack, and I do think this might work genetically. Like, I think it like works like genetically, like it'll pass on skin tones. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it seems like it works for that. So because that's the one thing that would be kind of an issue in the past with skin tone packs. If you get custom skin tones, they don't always translate when you have kids in your game. But I think this might work genetically, but I'm not sure 100%, but I think it does, because I saw something about that. But and with that actually covers all of the mods that I'm going to go over in this video. So all of my favorite CAS mods and CC as of 2023. So I do hope this video was helpful, especially for anyone who's trying to get into modding their Sims game, or just wants to try out some new CC and stuff like that. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you found some new stuff. Yeah, but thank you so much for watching if you've gotten this far. Please, if you could subscribe, like the video, that would be amazing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. So as I think I mentioned it, but there will be links for all of the mods in today's videos in the description, so you can find that all there. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.